What's good, everybody? It's May Money back again with another video. This is a review of The 100 Season 7, Episode 10, entitled A Little Sacrifice. So let's get right into it. Before we do, I want to just say a little bit about how I've been feeling about this season. Initially, I wanted to I wanted to do reaction videos to every episode and reviews and everything, but I increasingly kind of got disappointed with this season. I just wasn't as into it as I previously have been in previous seasons, and so I just kind of decided that I didn't really want to spend the time editing out videos to something that I wasn't really passionate about, I guess you could say. So I wanted to kind of wait and see how I felt during later episodes, and if I felt like doing a review video for any various other episodes during this season, I would. But and this is one of them. I didn't do a reaction video. I had just gotten back from a long trip into Tahoe and everything, and I was just too tired and I looked like shit, and I didn't want to record myself in my original reaction, even though I did want to watch the video, or the episode. So I just went ahead and did that. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I've been feeling this season 7. The first half, the lack of Bellamy has really kind of affected my, interest in it. It's been a little bit disappointing. Some of the storyline, has been really slow in pacing for some areas and things of that nature. So, I still do have hope, which we'll get into, that the season is going to really kind of bring us into the back half and with a bang. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So let's start off with the Sanctum storyline, because that's the one that kind of finished in this episode first. Wow. Okay, so I was really excited after the hiatus to see like how Shadehead, now that he's finally done playing chess and out of the room that he's been locked in and he's been revealed to be who he is. And finally, I was really kind of excited for that. The hiatus left me feeling like, okay, I want to know what happens to this character. I love J.R. Bourne. He is doing a phenomenal job of portraying Shadehead compared to the other actor. I don't know who he is. Anyway, but that's irrelevant now. He's gone. But, so I was really, really excited for that. And we've got him kind of in the beginning of the episode. It starts out with like Murphy and Maury kind of like going over the massacre and dealing with all of that. And he somehow gets to Maddie, who didn't even know that Shadehead was Shadehead, and I didn't, or Russell was Shadehead, and that's where I was a little confused. Like, did they not have enough time to relay that information? Like, how did that happen? Because I'm sure she was in the room when he was making that little speech and everything before that massacre went down. I don't know. Maybe I got lost somewhere with that. But they have this confrontation, and whoa, this dude is like really, like, I was kind of like taken aback. It was very horror movie-esque with the whole like, oh, I'm gonna cut out the hearts of everyone you love and feed them to your dog and all this. I was like, whoa, this dude is really sick. Like, he's sick. So I just thought that how that was portrayed was just really scary. And I like how when we got to Maddie, Murphy finding Maddie, how he like comforted her. I like how Murphy has really stepped up as a character into, something that he never thought he could really be, and he's been really really a changed character through what we've seen, his character kind of behave like and do and the choices that he's made, but now he's really stepping up to be a leader. And I think that's great. Like I didn't really realize that he had a connection with Maddie the way that he did. I don't, maybe I missed like their interactions or but yeah, I was surprised to see that they have such a, like, they have a bond, but maybe she was just so frightened in that moment that, you know, she was happy to see any one of her people. So I liked that dynamic between the two of them. And so I'm happy about Murphy kind of stepping up. And then we have Indra, who is trying to kind of keep Shadeheada at bay before he really does end up taking control over One Crew and the Fanatics and all the, I don't know where they are at. That was confusing to me. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I just thought that, so Indra was in here and she decides to, awesome, Adina always does a great job. And so she finally has to just say, you know what, Solo, come play. And so they have this fight, and we go straight into it. And we got new hairdos, we got the cut, and we got I don't know about Shadeheada's hairdo and his look though. It was a little like, I'm kind of mad that he took the beard away. Where the fuck did he get that little ponytail thing, and who did he have? Did he braid that in himself? Because I know I do my own hair, but does Shadeheada do his own hair? And did he cut some hair off of somebody and like braid their hair into his hair before his fight? What? All right, okay, he a hairstylist. He over here putting in weaves and shit. All right, whatever. I thought that was funny. And I did not like that jacket. But I kind of liked how he put the black over his eyes. That's kind of a grounder thing that I haven't seen in a while. So I kind of forgot that it was even a thing. So I was like, what, does this fool have on eyeliner? And I was like, oh no, it's the black powder paint that they put on that we just haven't seen. Because, you know, Shadeheada is from traditional grounder times. So that makes sense that he still is wearing that traditional grounder style. I don't know where the fuck he got that jacket though. Like, whose jacket was that? And did he make that jacket? Is he like a fashionista or something? What is going on with that? And so they have this fight. They have this battle. Indra's kicking ass. He's kind of, you know, starting to pull up and win. It really gave me season 3 vibes again. I was excited about that. It really made it feel like the 100, that like raw grounder 100. Like the grounders and the Earth people, One Crew and everybody, they really kind of have taken over Sanctum and warped it back into the traditions and the ways that were on Earth. So I think that's really cool to have brought that culture into Sanctum, where they're people, they have a different way of life. And the Fanatics and the Children of Gabriel and the prisoners, you know, they're all different factions. So to kind of have One Crew and the grounder culture taking over is so interesting to me, to see that dynamic. Because I wonder what they all think. Like, oh, these people are like really crazy. Like, what is their deal? You know what I mean? So they have this whole thing. Indra finally is kind of getting beaten down, and Maddie comes through and slices Shadeheada's eye out of the blue, which I kind of liked, because if you all remember, in the old body, the old dude, his original body, he didn't have an eye either. So I wonder if Maddie did that on purpose, knowing that the other Shadeheada was also without an eye. Was that like purposeful, or was it just kind of coincidence that his new body is also without an eye? Because I honestly, like towards the end of like his part in the episode when he's taking off the wrap, it looks like he was kind of ready to embrace that. That's how, you know, he's used to it. So that was really cool. And Indra ended up, you know, having to kneel to spare Maddie's life, which I know was hard for her, but I think in the end it was a right decision because Maddie has I think there's a little bit more to her story that's going to start to unravel throughout the end of the season, and I'm pretty curious as to see what that is. And Indra kind of allowed that to happen. And I'm glad that Maddie didn't die without Clark being there. That would be really bad. So yeah, that's about all. But what do you guys think is going to happen next in the Sanctum storyline? I'm not sure in the next episode from the promo that we're going to get any Sanctum. I'm not sure. I really don't know, but we'll see. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen next. I know that, like, so now Murphy and all them, Maddie is with them in, like, that reactor core thing. So I hope that that doesn't kind of become another thing and they destroy Sanctum, because I just am over the radiation parts of the story. But I mean, how do they, I don't know. And isn't it possible for them to get out of there, or for Shadehead and them to get in? Like, I feel like they've kind of cornered themselves a little bit, but we'll see. I don't know. I have no idea. And I wonder if these two storylines between Bardo, which we're going next to talk about, are ever going to link up in some way. Like, or is it just going to be separate? So we'll have to see about that. And another thing that I have a question about is does Shadehead also have some sort of, because he had the AI at one point, does he also have some sort of information that Cadogan is looking for within him as well? So that would be interesting to see them meet, because maybe they were kind of in closer time. 1 second, I'm gonna clean my glasses. And also, we also got a reveal of finally Shadehead's name, which is Malachi Combe Sangerakru. So I wonder, like, when he was in the lineage, like, how far back did he go in the lineage? How earlier was he in the lineage? Like, and how old is, like, Indra? Because she was a child when he was commander. So I'm just kind of trying to put that timeline together. Does it have anything to do with, like, was he closer to Becca as the commander, or... That's a question I have. But we got his name, so I'm happy to call him Malachi, and, you know, also known as Shadehead, also known as Russell Heda. So, interesting. So let's move on to Bardo. So in Bardo, we start off, we start off at the same exact place we have been in the same, like, past 3 episodes, which has been kind of annoying me. It's like, Clark is the main character, and she's been holding a gun to Bill Cadogan's head for 3 episodes, because we went back, and then went forward, and then went back again, and it was just been, the time dilation, I feel like, is really affecting the pacing of this season, and that's why it's been a little bit problematic for me personally. But we end up, finally, Clark tells them to get... You know, I'm not going to talk to... I want to talk to my people, otherwise I'm not going to help you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's do the Cadogan and everything. So they leave. Cadogan's like, oh, I'm hungry or some shit. I'm famished, which I can imagine. He did just get out of, like, cryo sleep. So he probably is pretty hungry. And I like this dynamic that him and Gabriel have. Like... You know, Gabriel's like, you're not all what you used to be. And Cadogan recognizes Gabriel for who he was. Like, oh, yeah, I know who you are, Dr. Santiago. And so they're from the same time, which I like that dynamic, because that's a cool little playoff of characters that we've never seen. And so... he goes to eat, he welcomes them to come join, and Gabriel's like, I'll just go talk to them. And I really like their conversation. And I love Gabriel's character. I love, like, his ideals. I've loved it since we've met him. He is, you know, he has his regrets. He has his guilt about, you know, the decisions that he's made and everything. But he's, like, been a good leader to, you know, the children of Gabriel, and, you know, really has, in my eyes, redeemed himself, unless he makes a whole twist somewhere along the line. But I don't know, his character is a little bit too centered and a little bit too almost stoic in a way to really feel him going in a very dark direction in any way. I feel like he's on our side. And just that whole God talk and everything, they do have a similar experience with, you know, living for 300 or 250 years or however long they've been living. So I think that's super cool. And that whole conversation was really interesting. We got to know a little bit more about Gabriel and then like who he was and where he came from and like his ideals. And I like that. And we got to know about, how kind of messed up in the head Cadigan really is low key. He really just thinks he's just right all the time. And meanwhile, Nyla and Jordan are, and for him to think he's right, Jordan, I think, really saw through that instantly. And you know, and what Jordan said was, you know, people search for what they want to see. And that's really, really exposing Cadigan's sort of mentality and his ideals. He only is looking for what he wants to see. And so Jordan is looking through, and I mean, this is the first time he's looking at this, the Bardoan language and all this message that's in their database or whatever, and instantly kind of puts together that there's probably a lot of miscommunicated words or mistranslated words in what they have studied, because they were kind of looking for the wrong thing. And he was saying that it's kind of like Korean and it's a test. And so one thing I got confused, maybe answer it in the comment below. So is it only a test for one person to go up, like how Becca did to that little white orb, or for a whole bunch of people to go up? It's kind of seemed like only one person could take the test, because when Gabriel came back out, he was like, no, don't tell them anything, because Bill Cadigan is the last person that should be taking the test for the human race, which I thought was hella funny, by the way. And then how he like patted Jordan on the shoulder and then was like, because they were like all in that beast and Akara. That was funny. I just love how like snarky and kind of just funny Gabriel can be. He really be making some funny remarks. So that's why I love him as a character. So, but I just thought that interesting how Jordan, finally we get to see Jordan actually do something, because his character has really just kind of been put to the sidelines. And I've wanted to, I mean, it's Monty's son. I love Monty and Harper, and I love that they passed down their ideals to Jordan, and you can really see that in him, but they just haven't used him until now, and that's actually a big discovery, and it's probably going to help a lot in this last war. So here, Team Green over here. What is his last name? Green? Jordan Green? Or is it like, what was Harper's last name? I don't know. Does anybody know Harper's last name? Anyway, did they like hyphenate it or anyway? We'll just call him Jordan Green. Team Green, Team Algae, Team Peace is at it again. Probably about to save all of, you know, the rest of the human race yet again. So MVP family right there. And so we move on to the reunion of Octavia, Clark, Miller, Nyla, Raven, and Diyoza. And I really liked this moment. We got Clark kind of showing a little bit of emotion about Bellamy. I understand that she hasn't had time to like process it, because she's still, every time someone dies that she cares about, it takes, like, she's in the middle of some shit show, so she can't ever really just show her emotion really. But her and Octavia share a nice moment, and her and Miller, actually, Octavia and Miller, I liked that because they've gone through a lot. Miller, you know, had a little bit of a disdain towards Octavia during when she was Blood Arena and everything, and he hasn't really seen her change But I felt like during that hug, during that quick moment, Miller really like kind of felt her change. So I really liked and enjoyed that. And then Hope comes bursting in and really kind of explains to the rest of the crew what happened, that it's been way longer than they thought that it has been for Octavia and Diyoza and Hope and everybody. So, because Diyoza was definitely pregnant, like, the last time they saw her, and it only had been, like, what, a day or two? So, and time dilation is a bitch. So, Hope comes in after Echo sent her to retrieve them and get them out within an hour, because Echo, is about to do some crazy shit, and pretty much, like, commit genocide on all of the Bardoans for vengeance over what happened to Bellamy, who ain't dead. Everybody know he ain't dead. But one thing, I'll get to that. And so they're all scrambling around. We find Levitt. He tells them and reveals what's going to happen. Was it Gen 9 or Gem 9? I don't know what it was called, but it's like a weapon of mass destruction, basically. And so, they ended up kind of leaving out, trying to find Echo because they know where they're going to be. And I really liked when Levitt was like, oh, Raven Reyes, of course you would know. Because he's such a fan of all of them. I mean, he's watched all of their experiences. I like the look on Raven's face when he, like, knew who she was and knew what she knows, you know what I mean? And it wasn't surprised that she would know how this is going to work. And so, I love Raven. She is always on point with shit like that. Anyway, and so, we end up in a room with Echo, who's getting ready to crystallize all of Bardo. And she gets stopped. And, Clark is like, stop. Like, don't do this. It might feel good now, but it's always going to live with you. You can live with your guilt. You can live with your grief. Or no, you can live with your grief, but, like, the guilt is the one that really kills you and really, and Clark knows all about that. And she also says that, like, Bellamy wouldn't want you to do this. And then this is kind of what pissed me off a little bit. It was when Echo said, you don't know what Bellamy would want. Like, hell no. Hell no. Like, Bellamy, when he found out that Clark was dead, did exactly what Clark would have wanted him to do and build the shelter and grieve on his own and not go and kill a whole bunch of people because he's angry. That's what Clark would have wanted when the roles were switched. And so actually Clark knows about Bellamy more than you probably do, because the only reason that they, live together on the ring is because Clark saved y'all in the first place. You wouldn't be nowhere without Clark anyway. So, like, what? Like, he went on a hauled ass mission to save her, to pull her out of a mind space. How dare you not say that they don't know each other and she don't? Get out of here. That's stupid. Clark knows plenty about Bellamy and who he is and what he would want in this situation for Echo. She knows what he would want for her. So for her to have the audacity to say that Clark doesn't know about what Bellamy would want in this situation if he was even dead, which he ain't, bitch, get out of here. Anyway, that pissed me off. But then Raven comes in, and it was interesting because Clark kind of had a look on her face like she believed Echo. And I'm like, Clark, you know Bellamy. Like, don't let her try to take away the fact that you know your best friend deep down and how much you've gone through together. Like, that just pissed me off. Anyway, so Raven came in, and I like this dynamic. I like this. I mean, we haven't really seen much of it, so I was a little surprised that Raven was the one to kind of talk her down off the edge. But it worked. And I really liked how Raven was like, I'm not leaving if you do this. You're going to have to kill me too. And that really talked her off the edge. And it shouldn't have to be that way. Raven shouldn't have to sacrifice herself for this atrocious mistake that Echo's about to make, but it worked. And then Hope just Hope. Anders comes in and is like just talking all sorts of trash, just calling them beasts and all this. It's like, dude, you don't know what these people have gone through over the past like 300 years. Like, they're not like, and for him to have a lack of understanding about the atrocities that these people have seen and how it built them into to be those type of people. Like, Diyoza had, you know, is kind of actually in Cadigan's time, honestly. I don't know, maybe a little earlier. I want to know where Diyoza comes into a timeline with Gabriel and Bill. Where does she fit in? When I know they're from around the same time, but like, was she already on the mining ship? What, did she already commit her atrocities? That's a good question. If y'all know, or if y'all want to brainstorm that with me, let's comment down below and talk about it. But so, like, yeah, all these people have committed atrocities that they, you know, just because of where they are from and what they had gone through. And for him to just say all that trash talk about people he don't know or will never understand, he deserved to get his throat cut through the rage of Hope, who he's, you know, kidnapped her whole family and tried to, you know, and murdered her whole family, even Dev. So that was just interesting to me. So yeah, she cuts his throat, takes the thing, and then Diyoza ends up kind of catching the drop before it goes in and crystallizes, and it's really, really emotional how that was all played out. I love how Diyoza kind of, you know, this is like the second, maybe third time she's had experiences with weapons of mass destruction, and, you know, she just kind of tells Hope, you know, be better than me, you know, learn from this, like, it's okay, I deserve to die, I've done horrible things, and she's trying to save Hope's soul, and the episode ends. So I'm interested to see how that affects Hope, this whole decision that she made. I was so sad when Diyoza died. I loved Diyoza, by the way. I loved her so much. Like, I was pissed. I loved her character. I love the actress. I love her story. She was so fucking badass. I loved her. And I'm just curious to know, you know, and the thing about it is, like, Echo kind of drove Hope to vengeance. You know, they did spend a lot of time, they spent 5 years together on Skyring, so, you know, they are similar in ways, you know, in a way, they're like sisters, and, I wonder if Echo's behavior had some influence on Hope in making that wrong decision. I'm just interested to see where that plays out and where that goes next. I really don't know what's going to happen to Bardo. In Bardo after this. I don't know if we're going to see Bardo in the next episode or not. I did see in the promo, moving on to the next episode. So the next episode is called Etheria. And we finally get to see Bellamy. He looks like he may have been there for maybe 6 months or so. Like, his hair's all grown out. I don't think he doesn't look old in the face. He just looks like he's grown his hair and he's all hairy and cold and looks kind of, you know, like he's been through it. But I don't think he's been there terribly long. And I'm curious to see, because he's like looking at the anomaly, I'm curious to see if Gaia comes in, like how long it's been for him when Gaia comes down, because I think that's where Gaia's going to end up too. Or, I don't know. How do you guys think that's going to work? How the time dilation is so confusing. So we'll see next episode. And I'm so excited. We finally get to see Bellamy. I don't care if he's old. I don't care. And in the trailer he said, or in the promo he says, like, there's a way off this planet. Like, or I know there's a way off this planet. And so it kind of seems like he's looking for the anomaly to get off. Because he has seen how the anomaly works, how you do the you code it in. And so he's looking for, so I wonder how he gets off, or if other people join him there, or like if he's gonna reunite. He has to reunite in some part of the story. Not this episode, I don't think. I think we're gonna get more of another kind of flashback about what he went through, or like, and then maybe at the end, or the very tail end of the episode, we'll see like what he went through, and then maybe Clark and them will show up, or maybe Gaia will show up. I don't know who's gonna show up, but I don't think they're gonna keep him on the planet, like that planet, for more than one episode without anybody. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't know how they work in this season anymore. So, I mean, good or I'm still like a little skeptical, like that the return to Bellamy will be like lackluster in a way. So I just hope it's not, but we will see. I'm just happy to see Bellamy. I'm happy to see Bob again, because I know that if it's more of a bottleneck episode, he's going to kill it. He is going to completely just take command of that role, and it's going to be so good, and it definitely has the potential to be one of the best episodes this season. I definitely agree that this was my favorite episode so far this season. For sure. It finally kind of got me excited. It felt like the old 100 that I know. So, and you know, I was happy. I got that emotional, it was more complete. I felt like I was watching the same show that I know and love again. So I'm glad to kind of feel that way again, because I love this show and I want to feel that way. And so I will record a reaction next week for Etheria, is the episode of that's season 7, episode 11, entitled Etheria. I will record a reaction to it, and if I love it, then I will post it up for sure and have a review. If I feel like it let me down, then I'm not even gonna bother. I still will do a review though, because the reviews are easier to edit, and I'm not gonna waste time or spend time editing like a reaction video. It takes a long time. I'm not that good of an editor to like spend hours and hours on something that I didn't really like. So we'll see about the reaction. I will definitely do a review. But yeah, I'm so excited to see Bob and Bellamy completely destroy. I don't know if it's going to be bottleneck, or I don't know if it's going to jump back and forth between Bardo and Sanctum and everything. I think he deserves the screen time to kind of have this episode be more about him. We did see Levitt. I was going to say Everett. I don't know why. We did see Levitt discover that he's alive. Maybe towards the end of the episode that might be revealed or something. I don't know. It's a promo. You can never tell where they place stuff. But maybe it'll be back and forth a little bit. I'm not sure. But I am very excited for next week. I really hope it lives up to my expectations and beyond. I just want to see Bellamy again. This was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. I would rate it at like a 9 out of 10 for sure. It was great. The performances were great, and I'm happy to be excited about an episode of The 100 again. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe your thoughts on this episode. Support my channel if you like this channel. Please comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought about the whole season leading up. I know I gave my reasons about why I haven't even been reacting and reviewing. Are you excited for next episode? Yes. So let's all get together and may we meet again. Peace, y'all.